What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, I want to talk about some cryptocurrencies, the coin market cap, as well as a very interesting move that we're starting to see within Bitcoin. And this does lead into Litecoin analysis as well, but specifically Bitcoin's breakout of a fractal that we had drawn on in yesterday's video. And I will be getting into specifics in that in a second. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, as you can see, I'm on my channel right now, and you'll notice as I scroll down, the past couple of days we were making some very interesting videos. You'll notice that I was talking about right around here, we have Bitcoin. There is a fractal that I did draw on here, and you'll notice the past couple of days, Litecoin and Bitcoin fractals over here, Litecoin mystery pattern signaling a breakout. You'll notice what I drew right here. We have three fractals that tend to break bullish, and that is specifically what I want to talk about in today's episode and how that's correlating with the market currently. So you'll notice as I zoom out right now, I want to specifically talk about previous movements and how this relates to right now. You'll notice, and I'll get rid of these high-low MMAs and the MACD just for a second so we can get a bigger picture right now. You'll notice a couple of things are happening. So not only are we seeing a first fractal which tends to break bullish, right? It begins to break bullish, and then it trends downwards. You'll notice like this, we trended downwards, we broke bullish. At the end of it, broke up, trended downwards, and notice the entire time we don't have confirmation above the support, or above, the resistance on the fractal. You'll notice every time we try to break bullish through here, we end up wicking and closing back down below it. And you'll notice another very interesting thing. I'm noticing that in all three fractals, there is a point where we manage to break above it in the beginning, right in the beginning. You'll notice all three, we have a little bit of consolidation. We break bullish the first time from the fractal, but we end up closing and wicking down below it. That happened here, that happened here, and that happened here. All three times we seem to do the same exact thing, which is a very interesting pattern. And you can see how these correlate very well, which is something to consider. Now notice as we continue to play downwards, we tend to break below it, and then we break bullish. We hit the bottom and we break bullish. Now this one is a little bit bigger and a little bit longer, and notice each one that we have has gotten bigger, and it's pretty much given us a bigger breakout. I could be wrong, but I want to find out. Let's see, we broke up, I'd say all the way to here, I'd count this. We broke up on this one right here. I'd say this is a little bit bigger, yeah. So you can see each breakout has pretty much indicated a bigger run. This one was an 8.7 jump. This one was a 12% jump. Each one tends to break bigger than the previous. So notice that we came to the bottom on this one right here. Now this is pretty cool. Each one of these were also below the high-low middle moving average, which we are currently below once again right now. The pretty interesting thing I want to talk about is the fact that we're finally breaking bullish out of this one. Now notice the previous two we broke at the bottom before we broke through the top resistance. We hit support before breaking bullish. This one we actually hit the bottom, consolidated out, and now looks like we're breaking bullish. So the crazy thing I wanted to talk about is where we are currently today. Notice that we really have not been able to close a candle above this resistance in quite some time now, but just recently are we starting to see us wicking above here and closing a daily candle above. If we manage to close a daily candle above, we could be seeing a pretty big breakout to the upside, and then eventually, climbing back down. So this is pretty much the key point right now where we have to pay close attention to. If we can close today's candle below here, above the downtrend, and not wick above it, we close the candle above here, we should be in the move for a pretty big run to the upside. Now, my first initial instinct is to see a very big jump, at least up to its high-low middle moving average. This is about a 5% gain, and then potentially heading up even higher. We could see a jump as big as, let's see, retesting resistance up here, I'd say right at about $8,600. So that is a percent jump. Oops, let me get rid of that. Of quite a bit. And I'll draw this for you in a second. I don't even think I can grab that arrow. Bam, delete. There we go. Get back on crosshairs. Okay, so you can see a jump or a move about here, which is about a 12% jump as well. We may see a bigger one. There's a good chance we may see a bigger one due to the fact that each one of these has had a bigger percent leap. So notice if we did have a bigger one, I'd probably predict one to be right there. Notice that each of these had our jumps to the upside, all three. each of these fractals indicating a bigger move. And let's see, I want to do Bitcoin fractals. Let's see if that's even a thing online that we can check out, or crypto fractals. If we have any sort of indication, any sort of indicators, hard to see right now, but these fractals all tend to break bullish at the end of them each time. Notice we're starting to see that one right now. So if things do complete and we start to see a third one jump to the upside, there's a good chance we could shoot up to that $9,100 resistance up here, retesting this upside right here, where we've had previous problems in this zone. We could now be retesting that fairly soon. So that's really what I wanted to point out to you guys, and I find that quite important and quite, surprising. And the reason being is because we're starting to see that confirmation right now. And that's why I'm so excited and wanted to make this video. So I'll get rid of these for this second, and then we'll move on into Litecoin and the other cryptos. But basically the confirmation of us breaking bullish through here is a huge sign of a bullish break to the upside. We could easily be retesting conservatively 83.50, and then more on the riskier moves of up to $9,000, 9,100, which is about $1,100 move per crypto, per coin. So that's pretty big. The big thing I wanted to talk about as well is the MACD. Now notice as I extend the MACD, we're starting to see that MACD move farther and farther away from the orange signal right here. This orange line is an indication of where we're bullish or bearish or oversold or undervalued or overvalued or oversold. Notice that this blue band is above now and trying to extend farther away than where we've been previously. And also notice that we're starting to see some nicer volume here, and we're starting to see some bullish volume, some green volume slowly extend us up higher. So this is a really good indicator of a bull movement right here. That's another thing I wanted to point out to you guys, besides the fact that we're trading at around 50, which gives us plenty of room to head higher. This is a great signal right here, and that's what I really wanted to point out to you guys. There's a really good confirmation, especially being now, if you look on the daily, the fact that we're below the high-low middle moving average and these are trending right at here, and it is a very, very, very easy bullish jump to $9,100 very quickly, very easy. So pay close attention to that. If we can break resistance at $8,000, there's movement and there's room for a major jump to the upside, and that's what I really wanted to point out. So if you're a gambling man, this may be an opportunity right here. Now I'm no financial advisor, but with that knowledge, consider that this could be breaking to the upside fairly soon. I do want to move into the other altcoins. Notice that on Bitcoin right now, this one is, we found patterns, and when we find patterns, it's easier to predict. I'd be very shocked if we break bearish and we fall lower, but if we manage to break bullish, I'd like to say that this was based on previous patterns that we found, and this is why we can use indicators to signal bullish moves to the upside. Notice on the daily too, the MACD is coming close to touching, but it looks like we're starting to separate with this green volume finally coming into the market. So these fractals are very important, guys. I want to just keep us on the 4 hour, just so we have something to look at later on if we ever go back to here. Now, I do want to talk about Litecoin. Litecoin is still, once again, within a major fractal on this coin right now, a major fractal. Another thing to look at once again is obviously the MACD. Notice how the MACD is so freaking close to touching right now. So close. We're literally on each other right now. If we cross over, that is a pretty big sign of a bear move, but if we can continue to stay above this with help from Bitcoin, of course, we could be looking for a pretty big break from its major fractal that we see in this downtrend, and could easily retest $80 on Litecoin. So a quick retracement or correction back up to the upside. So this is huge, guys. We'd see a percentage gain of about, let's see, from the point of breakout, about a 30% jump, or sorry, about a 54% jump, about $28 per coin, which is huge, and there's a good chance we are going to see that movement fairly soon. Really depends on where Bitcoin's fractal wants to take us. You can see, once again, there's not much to really talk about with Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of flatlined out. We're pretty much just channeling in between these yellow bands right here, or these yellow points of support and resistance. Merely not much is going on, and that's unfortunate, but that comes with some cryptos, that comes with some coins, and you really don't need to look at them as much. I mean, yeah, they're important, but when you don't see much, charts or analytics or uptrends or anything that helps you, indicators that can help you pretty much predict where we're going, you don't really need to pay much attention to them. I mean, besides the fact that the MACD is crossing over, which is a bearish signal, there's really not much going on with that. XRP looks great. I mean, I really loved that we saw that resistance, that rejection from our high-low MMA, and then immediately fell and caught right back up to it. That is a huge play. The fact that we're trading right now above a resistance that has not been able to been broken for quite some time now is huge as well. But merely what we're waiting for right now in the daily is to see that confirmation, a break above the high-low MMAs before we see any sort of major, bullish movement up to 50 cents, which could easily happen if we break above the high-low middle moving averages. We are a little bit closing in on the overbought level, trading at 57. There is room to move up higher, but we have to pay a little more attention to that. But honestly, these fractals are huge right now, especially on Bitcoin, finally seeing that confirmation of a break. We could easily see a pretty big jump. So otherwise, that's going to sum up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.